together now, stand up. In the name of the Leafs, put your hands up. Forever Maple Leafs T.O. I grew up singing Go Leafs Go. We on a roll now, never gonna slow down. Norris Stanley's coming back to the hometown. I bleed blue, bleed true, but I breathe white.
Wow, what a game five. Leafs Nation. How are you guys feeling right now? My blood pressure and my heart beat it's beating through my chest. I couldn't handle what was going on in this game, man. Just the amount of emotions that I went through tonight with the way the Leafs started and going down 2-0, and man, I was so upset with Campbell and how he just let in two goals. Like, sometimes the pucks just go right through him, and it's so frustrating when he's in position. But I mean, this is one of those games. This is one of those games where you look at the team and whatever's going on with officiating and the bounces, you need this team to come up with some sort of response. You need the Leafs to show you something to make you believe in this team. And you know, from the second period on, the Leafs completely took over that game. The ice just got tilted, and the referees were pretty decent and calling it down the middle. I mean, once the Tampa Bay Lightning went on that power play and Steven Stamkos took the high stick on TJ Brody, I think that really took their momentum away. I mean, that 4-on-4, the Leafs really started tilting the ice, and Tampa was reeling, and they never got control of the game again, even though, McDonough scores on that slap shot to tie the game. The way I see it is there was a lot going on in that play that the referees could have called. I mean, the trip on Mitch Marner to create that turnover right in the slot, and McDonough steps into it, and that slap shot goes top corner. I mean, there's a lot going on in that play, but again, I don't want to talk about the referees, but there the there are some things that happened tonight that need to be highlighted, and John Tavares needs to be highlighted. I'm sick and tired of all the negativity that surrounds John Tavares. I mean, he wasn't brought here to be like this guy who takes over games. I mean, if you thought that that's the guy he was, I mean, you're unfortunately you're misinformed about John Tavares. I mean, this guy is old school, grinded down low, tire the other team out, and literally, I mean, that pass to Morgan Riley that Tavares created tonight, I mean, that is the very definition of what John Tavares is, who he is, and how he plays hockey. He had that puck, he moved it around a little bit. He made a couple of moves. He spun around, and if you look at that play, you see Erik Chernak. I mean, Tavares broke that guy's ankles. I mean, that guy just fell. He couldn't keep up with John Tavares in the way he was juking and jiving, and Chernak goes down, and Tavares turns around, and he's got Morgan Riley wide open in the slot, and he makes a great saucer pass right on his tape, and he puts it in the corner of the net. And Vasilevsky definitely didn't see Riley there. There was no way he could anticipate that shot, and Riley got it on and off his stick as fast as you can possibly do that. I mean, Vasilevsky had no chance to react to that shot, and all of a sudden the game's tied, and the Leafs are just coming for the throat And, we learned a lot about the Toronto Maple Leafs today. They have it in them. They have that killer instinct because, you know, everything was going wrong in the first period. Um, you know, they just battled and battled and battled. That first period ended 2-0. If first period ended 3-0, or if the score was 3-0 or more, that game was over. But, two goals is something that's very doable. You score one goal and it's a new game, and Nylander makes a great play on the power play, and it goes off the skate of Tavares and he gets that goal. William Nylander and John Tavares tonight played huge. They played like stars. They played like elite players. And it's being elite is not always being this player that, goes in and out of skates and sticks and dangles, and sometimes you just got to be cerebral. Sometimes you just got to use your brain, read the play, have a high hockey IQ. And William Nylander was going to the net today and he was playing hard and he was forechecking, and he got that hip check in front of the net that sent him flying. There's those are two guys. I mean, I can read a stat for you here. That is a very great stat. William Nylander, as of right now, has 8 goals in his last 12 playoff games. He has 13 points in those 12 playoff games, and he's first on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the guys on the talking heads on TV want to talk about, oh, he bailed on this play when it's 5-0 and the game is over. You can't buy into this nonsense. This guy was your best player last year against Montreal, and he showed up this year too. I don't want to hear all this nonsense about John Tavares doesn't do this. John Tavares made a nice play. William Nylander scored 2 goals last game, and he scored tonight. And that wrist shot right inside the post. I mean, if Vasilevsky can't save it, who's gonna save it? I mean, Vasilevsky is a great goalie, and the things William Nylander has done in this series against Vasilevsky, I mean, he's shot the puck very. I mean, for the kind of salary he makes, I don't know how you can hate on this guy. Even salary aside, this guy shows up in the playoffs. You cannot say he doesn't show up in the playoffs. John Tavares and William Nylander should be exempt from any type of criticism. I just told you this guy in his last 12 playoff games has 13 points, and that's the most amount of points on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't say he doesn't produce. Not everybody plays the same kind of game. Not everybody goes out there like Corey Perry, diving around, dropping like the sack of shit that he is. That's a guy that has no respect for the game, the sport, or his team, or his opponent. William Nylander, John Tavares did it the right way tonight, and good on them. I mean, nothing but good things should be said about William Nylander and John Tavares right now. And you see, Sheldon Keefe played Austin Matthews a lot more tonight. He inserted him, and Austin Matthews started inserting himself into the series. I mean, he had a great game 1, and Marner had a great game 1, and tonight you saw it again. Sheldon Keefe needs to get away from this stupid idea that Tampa Bay puts out Nick Paul and Ross Colton. I mean, who are you afraid of? Why are you putting Kampf out there to start the game with Justin Hall on defense? Put your big boys out there and let them run roughshod over this loser third line. So I'm very happy that every period you saw Matthews out there to start the period. He started the game, started inserting himself, and then Ilya Mikheyev tonight. 2 very underrated plays. One is the backhand to Nylander where he shot it inside the post and in. Ilya Mikheyev just doing whatever he's got to do to get the puck, and then whatever he's got to do to make a play. Very underrated pass. And then the other underrated pass, you know, the Leafs are fighting for the puck on the boards. He spins around, gives it to Marner. Marner goes in and, uses his hockey IQ to shoot off the pad to create that rebound for Matthews. I mean, you can shoot to score, or you can shoot to create a pass slash rebound, and that's perfectly placed. That's high IQ coming to the forefront, and the big boys were the big boys: John Tavares, Nylander, Riley, Matthews, Marner. The big guys, the big five, they came through tonight. They had a great game. The Leafs are up 3-2 in this series, boys. This is amazing. What a game tonight. I mean, and now you hear after the game that Jason Spezza, between the second and third period, during the intermission, talked to the boys in the dressing room. And he said, "Let's go, boys." I mean, time is running out. You're not going to get the same opportunity again. You have this game. You have a chance. And kudos to the leadership. I mean, that's why he's on the team. Good on him for taking the opportunity to, to see the opportunity is there, to see that the team needs a talking to, and that's leadership. That's leadership, boys. So big shout out to Jason Spezza. Big shout out to the core: Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, Riley. The big boys came to play when the team needed them, and they got it out the win. And it's a big win. The Leafs have now shifted all the pressure on Tampa to show up and have a game of their life in Tampa. And, either they do or they don't, but the Leafs have a chance to come back at home, and that stadium is going. If there is a game clinching, see, I think, in this series, the typical Toronto Maple Leafs crowd that's quiet and always needs a goal or something like that to get loud. The kudos to the crowd inside the stadium, because they have been amazing in this series. And I think people in Toronto, now that they've seen the Raptors go on their championship run, and they've seen the difference the crowd can make for a team, because everybody in the NBA talks about the Raptors crowd, and this town has finally started to understand that you can create a home atmosphere that's beneficial for your players, your team, and it's a detriment to your opponent. You want to make it hard for guys to come in there and play. Yeah, absolutely. You should make it hard. You should be so loud. It should be deafening. You should go Leafs go. MVP chance for Matthews. I mean, soup chance for Jack Campbell. Cheer for your captain. He's playing huge. There's a reason why Steven Stamkos doesn't have too many goals or points in this series. And John Tavares has unfortunately been tasked with shutting down Tavares. And, I can't say enough good things about what happened tonight. In this town, we're quick to jump on team. We're quick to jump on this team and its players. There's been a lot of talk about Justin Hall today. Justin Hall made a good play, got the puck up to in Mikheyev. Mikheyev makes the pass to Nylander, and Nylander puts it in the net. Justin Hall played a good game today. Shout out to him. And, we're here. We're up 3-2 on the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. I mean, the Leafs have shown us a lot in this series, and it's time uh, that we got behind this team properly. And the fans in the stadium have been really good. And I think with all the stuff that's been going on in the playoffs with the Raptors, the fans have really are starting to get it. That you can be loud. Um, you know, why not? Why not make it hard for the other guys to play in your stadium? Why be quiet? It's about time people talked about the Leafs fans during Leafs games the way people talk about Raptors fans in the NBA. Why not? Good on you guys. If you're in the stadium, make sure you're heard. I mean, I watching it on TV. That stadium is electric. Everyone's standing for the last 6 minutes of the game. I love it. I love every second of it. The cheering, the MVP chants, the soup chants. Go Leafs, go all the way. Do not be afraid to cheer on your team. Thank God the Raptors, have you know gone on some runs and made the playoffs enough where they've really showed this town how you can be loud and create a positive for the team. I I don't know. It's there's a lot of things that I could talk about tonight. Shout out to Colin Blackwell. I mean, Camp, Kasha, Ingvall, complete game. I mean, the defense tonight was really good. Muzzin Brody, when you see this defense the way it's playing right now, is unbelievable. Like I know in my heart that if Muzzin didn't get a concussion last year against the Montreal Canadiens and Tavares didn't get hurt, the Leafs would have won that series when they were up 3-1. But things happen, and you got to roll with the punches. But what the Leafs showed tonight is not insignificant. Do not underplay like the way John Cooper does. Again, he came out tonight, John Cooper. Oh, we gave the game away. Zero credit, giving no credit to the Leafs. The way they gutted out this game, the way they went down 2-0. Things weren't going right. There are 7 power plays in the first period. It was a very choppy game. Matthews couldn't get out there a lot. And, once things settled down in the second and third period, Sheldon Keefe was able to get Matthews out there as much as he could. And, Matthews just crushing Sergachev on the boards. I mean, he is hitting, he's skating, he's scoring, he's making plays. That Matthews pass last game to Nylander in the slot on the power play, and he tips it home. Matthews, Marner, all the stuff that we talked about last year about how these guys can't score in the playoffs and they can't bring it. I mean, they've put all that stuff to rest in this series. Tampa has not made it easy. The refs have not made it easy, and these guys are fighting through it. I know last game wasn't a good showing, but Tampa hasn't had good showings too, and Andrei Vasilevsky is letting in a lot of goals. These guys are not superhuman. They're not Superman. They have a lot of holes. Vasilevsky is not, some goalie god. He's just a man. He's just another goalie. And you can score on him. And you just have to keep playing your game. Right now, the Leafs are playing amazing. Good for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What a huge win. I could not I was bouncing off the roof. Just off the ceiling and walls. I was going crazy. I live in a great neighborhood. My neighbor was out. We were all out watching the game. I got a giant 100-inch inflatable screen in my backyard on the deck. We were all out. It was amazing. Hooting and hollering. Goal horn going off. The Leafs played a hell of a game, put on quite a show. Very entertaining game. I mean, that second and third period was great because, the refs weren't involved so much, and it was just 5-on-5, 4-on-4. And that's the kind of hockey I love. I mean, that first period was a gong show, 7 power plays in 1 period. But once the refs got out of the way, that second and third period was some of the most entertaining hockey I've ever seen. Just two good teams going at it. And, the Leafs made a couple of good plays and some nice passes. Tavares to Riley in the slot, Mikheyev to Nylander. Nylander putting a gorgeous wrist shot inside the post. And then that Marner Matthews play to finish it off. I mean, Leafs faced a lot of adversity. They had to fight back to make it 2-2. Then they scored to make it 3-2. McDonough scores on that play. Slap shot ties it up 3-3, and the Leafs come back and they get a goal with 6 minutes left. I mean, unbelievable game. Unbelievable game by this team. Kudos. Shout out to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Go Leafs, go all the way. What a great night. And, if they end up finishing it off Thursday night, I'm going live on YouTube. Join me for that celebration. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to have a drink in hand. And I'm going to be on here. I'm going to have the LED lights going. We're going to have a party on here. Join me here on YouTube. I'm going to go live. Open up the chat. I want all you guys to get in here. And let's celebrate together, Leafs Nation. This team is looking great. And I am so pumped, so jacked right now. Unbelievable. Great game. You guys let me know what your thoughts were. Do you think the Leafs should play Justin Hall next game? Should Liljegren draw back in? And what do you think about the lines tonight? I think the lines were pretty good. They should keep them the same for the next game in Tampa. They just have to come out with a better start. Tampa's going to come out flying, and they really have to weather the storm for the first 10 minutes, and it's going to be crazy. So let's hope all goes well. Go Leafs, go. Join me on here for the celebration. I don't care how late it is, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I don't care if it goes to overtime, double overtime. If the Leafs win and close out this series on Thursday, I'm going YouTube live. Join me in the chat. We're going to party and have a great time. Unbelievable. This is what we've all been waiting for. This team's finally going to break through, and, it was gut check time, and the Leafs delivered. They did it. They came through, and they put in the performance of a lifetime. Unbelievable. Go Leafs, go. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care.